Hi everybody! Today I will be giving you a brief introduction to Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini. And it's from the Romantic era, and we'll learn more about that in the next video. I think the coolest part about this piece is the history behind it and the story of Paganini himself and how that played into Rachmaninoff's portrayal of him in the piece. Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini is a piece written by Sergei Rachmaninoff for solo piano and orchestra, and it has 24 variations of a theme in that piece. So, Nikolai Paganini, he's this crazy talented violin player, and was so talented that he would write pieces that other violin players physically could not play. Because of this, people believed he sold his soul to the devil for his skill, and the Catholic Church refused to bury him after he died. It didn't help that Paganini also means little pagan, even though every time I hear Paganini I think of paninis, the sandwich. Anyway, so, more likely than to deal with the devil, Paganini actually probably had Marfan syndrome or Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, EDS. This is a connective tissue disorder. It's genetic, and this is really cool to me because I actually have EDS, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It's considered rare, but it's starting to show up more because people are learning how to diagnose it. It affects your blood cells, your skin, and your joints, and it sucks. But Paganini made it work because he had these crazy long, lanky fingers. He was able to do all these things on violin that other people physically couldn't. So he uses this ability to his advantage, and I think that's really cool. Paganini wrote 24 caprices for violin, the last of those 24 being a theme and variations piece. Sergei Rachmaninoff took the theme from Paganini's 24th violin caprice and used that for the basis of a rhapsody on a theme of Paganini. So he actually creates 24 variations of Paganini's theme, which is really cool. He actually doesn't start with the theme, he starts with a stripped down version of the theme, but we'll get into that more later. So, years after this piece was premiered, this guy named Michael Fokine, he was a choreographer, he came to Rachmaninoff and said, "Hey dude, can you write me music that I can write a ballet to?" And Rachmaninoff was like, "Nah, don't feel like it. Here's a piece I already wrote that you can put a ballet to, though." And he gave him Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini, and suggested that he actually use Paganini as the subject of the ballet. So, it was turned into a ballet about Paganini and his deal with the devil and everything. And here are Sergei Rachmaninoff's own words about how he believed that the ballet should be portrayed. "Consider the Paganini legend about the sale of his soul to the evil spirit in exchange for perfection in art and for a woman," because there's always a woman involved in everything. "All variations on the Dies Irae would be for the evil spirit. The whole middle, from the 11th variation to the 18th, these are the love episodes. Paganini makes his first appearance at the theme, and, defeated, appears for the last time at the 23rd variation, the first 12 bars after which, to the end, is triumph of his conquerors." It would be good to show Paganini with a violin, not, of course, a real one, but some devised, fantastic violin. It also seems to me that at the conclusion of the play, the several personages representing the evil spirit should be caricatures, absolute caricatures, of Paganini himself. And they should here have violins that are even more fantastically monstrous. You're not laughing at me? Oh, how I wish I could see you to tell you more fully about this. And there's Sergei's picture in his mind of what the ballet should be, and that's what it became. There's a ballet about a violinist with EDS, and that's fascinating, honestly. So there's our introduction to the history of Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini by Sergei Rachmaninoff. We'll be using this piece to look more into the Romantic era and get more familiarized with that, and it'll be a lot of fun. I hope you found this as interesting as I did, and I'll see you next week.